three stages to this game. You play, you compete, and lethal.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
All day. Looking deep for Hollywood Brown again. He's got it. Brown off to the races. And he stays on his feet. Touchdown!
Overtime. Parker's kick is blocked. It's picked up by the Titans. This game is over. Second down in the air and picked off by Brad. Will he get it here? Yes!
Episode 7, we're back. Trying to crease up already. Oh, it's good to be back. And that this time it should sound better, hopefully.
Well, fingers crossed.
We're sharing a mic again. We're from a new location as well. Have you noticed how much lighter it is in here?
Yeah, it's not as dingy, is it?
It's not quite as dingy as my dining room. I say my dining room. I wish it was my dining room.
Shout out Megan.
Yeah, shout out Megan.
Yeah,
that sounds really like I just live in. I just steal someone's house. My dining room. Wait, it's not my dining room.
Yeah, we take squatters' rights when we record usually.
Yeah, we just go wherever we want. We're going to go to the pub afterwards. So yeah, we're back a month later. What? What are you kicking at? This is a
It's shambles of an opening.
Shambles of an opening. I don't really care. I'm just going to rock it.
Let's go with it.
Like most people love it when we're just talking absolute. I mean, we've made it this far. We've made it episode 7.
Yeah, it's
And just somehow about talking, and there's no season on, so we're doing all right. But yeah, there's not much going on at the moment. We've got some news. We've got some segments we're going to talk about, and probably the most positive news of the last few days is Carl Nassib has come out as gay, which I actually have kind of mixed feelings about it, because like it's brilliant news, but at the second part of me is thinking like this shouldn't be news. Like
Yeah, no, I
like
agree.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this should just be normal. So yeah.
And it's Pride Month as well, so
It's
it's a
Pride
really
Month.
nice thing.
Yeah.
It's good. It's something. It's the first active NFL player to come out.
Yeah, it is really good news, and I think it's. To be fair, is there any Premier League football players that have done the same? I don't think there has been.
Only after. So
Yeah,
again, in the same
yeah.
way, Thomas Hitzlsperger come out, didn't he, after
Yeah.
he retired. Justin Fashanu, obviously. But
It is that stigma, isn't it? I suppose, as in for players, they're like I don't know, they don't feel they can. But I think it's brilliant that you feel that
it's
you
fair
can
play.
come out and do that, and
It's good.
hopefully it leads to more players. Not saying
I won't be surprised if there is a lot more now, because
Oh, 100%.
it's always like you say, as much as there shouldn't be. I think people there are almost a little bit nervous, because obviously it's what you hear. It's a big thing for people to come out, but then to do it, obviously, if you're a professional athlete,
statistically, there's going to be like a lot of people who are.
of course.
And the thing is, there shouldn't be a stigma. You're there, you're doing your job. It's professional, and I mean, stupidly, comparing it to the Premier League, rightly or wrongly, obviously wrongly, it's probably safer over there, because although fans are volatile, they're a bit more decored than I think English fans are in sport, and the way that people get treated and abused. So
yeah,
it's all good. It's Pride Month. It's something that you say shouldn't be announced.
What you do?
But it is announced.
Yes.
It is announced, and it's good for him to be able to be comfortable enough to come out.
Yeah, I think it's good.
And some good news to come out of the.
It's the first bit of positive news from the Raiders.
Yeah, usually we sit here just
talking about their
talking how
nightclub
shit they are.
stadium, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Not worst franchise, and which they still are.
Or maybe, yeah. No, I was going to make a bad joke, but I won't. But yeah, it's probably their best-selling jersey has now not come from someone's quality of a play. It's now because of.
I mean, hopefully it starts a snowball effect, and more people feel comfortable enough to do it if if they are.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic news. So yeah, hopefully we will see more players feel that they can be who they want to be and not have to hide it. So we'll see that soon. And the next bit of recent news for us is the Throwback Helmets.
Yeah, very recent. Right, yesterday, didn't it?
Yesterday. Yeah, you sent me the text actually.
I did.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I like it.
I'm all for it. I think it's a sick idea.
Do you know what? It gives. We've had the discussion on kits and on uniforms, as they should be, before. But the helmet's a vital part of the kit. It's the thing that we all see first of all with a player, and just a bit of.
So clarify this for me, because I was trying to figure this out. So it's
the
kits. They could have the retro kits before.
So you could have, they had multiple kits. So they had like a home or a first and a second, and then maybe an alternative strip.
Well, didn't the Chargers have like 8 or like 5?
Yeah, they could have multiple alternative kits, but you were only allowed one helmet style. From what I've read and seen,
right, yeah.
Which it went away and came back in, because they used to have throwback helmets as well. If you, Chris is going to sneeze / cough, and I can't tell which.
No, I was going to sneeze, but it didn't happen.
Pulled funny faces.
I turned around to the fan and it put it away.
Stopped. But yeah, so it means that now there's multiple alternative helmets that can be had as part of a strip uniform kit, whatever you want to call it.
That's really cool, actually, for the teams that have been around for a lot longer.
I'm buzzing to see an
I'm assuming they'll only do it for like
in
one game.
Maybe, yeah.
Can they still do the Houston Oilers thing? Was that?
Yeah, so this is the thing. So the Houston Oilers and the Oilers trademark and Oilers name is owned by the Tennessee Titans. So I can't wait for us to shithouse our way to at Houston with the Houston Oilers kits. I hope that happens. Twitter's gone mad for it. I've seen it everywhere on Twitter. I've seen the mock-ups. I saw pictures of AJ Brown in it, and I'm like, that looks good. I like it.
That would be an insane.
It'll just increase the.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like the Buccaneers as well. That keeps getting shared.
Yeah, that's the old orange helmet with the old buck.
With the old Buccaneer pirate man on it, like.
With Denver's as well, they've got a massive D.
Beg your pardon.
Literally, they've got a massive D.
Beg your pardon.
Say again. Denver's got a massive
Fair play,
D.
Denver.
Fair play to them. Reese is buzzing for their massive D.
They get their big Ds out.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Hole,
yeah. And the other one I
Green
saw,
Bay's one,
Eagles one with like the lighter green and just the plain silver wings.
The old Cowboys one.
To be fair, is that white?
Yeah, it's white with the plain blue star.
Yeah.
It's not too dissimilar to what ours is now, but it's just a little bit grey.
The Jets old one actually looks really good.
I think they all look sick.
Yeah.
To be fair,
most of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Washington will be able to do a.
I showed this to.
They can't do a Redskins one, can they? So
I suppose they could put an Indian on it. It doesn't have to specify as a.
No, they can't. You can't call them that either.
You can't call them Indians.
No, they're Native Americans. And
like a chicken tikka masala on the side of his helmet.
It's politically correct is a Native American and it stays that way.
Could they just do some feathers?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, yeah. That's where it's those things.
I think they've moved away from that, haven't they, for a reason, and they're not going to suddenly be like, oh yeah, our retro.
For reasons like me.
Yeah. We're going to have our retro kit. And we're going to bring it back.
The old Green Bay.
It's going to be even more racist.
Yeah,
are you looking at them now?
Yeah.
The Bucks one's cool though.
Not really sure they can do that.
I don't
think this one.
That's the Bucks. What I'm on about.
Is that the one with the little pirate?
Yeah,
man?
Little pirate man. And then, just for reference,
George is
search the internet to see what the best one is.
But I mean, there's big play for it.
Helmets, Washington, and it's just a brown helmet. Oh no, they've got it's an R. It just says R.
With feathers.
They're not the R's anymore, are they?
They could change it to a W.
I mean,
Washington with some feathers.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad. There's a spear and
I'm going to say we move swiftly on from this.
Yeah, we'll move on from that.
On to potentially Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, A1.
The absolute mammoth of a mess up.
What's going on there? I still don't understand. I think we've had this conversation before, but I kind of feel like I would not be surprised if he's still there next year.
I think he's just trying to rinse as much as he can from him, to be honest.
I think his contract was restructured, so he can, although it's meant to go through to 2024, he can leave at the end of this year. So I mean, he can
leave
at the end of this year. There's an out.
Oh, so as in the season coming,
potential. At the end of this season,
he's going to play, isn't he?
Potential.
He's a player. He's not going to. He's not the.
He's not going to not want to play.
Yeah, he's not the kind of person that's like players that we've seen before that might be like, I don't know, for example, Antonio Brown. I'm just not playing. Oh, I've got a bad foot. Oh, my helmet doesn't fit me anymore, and that's your fault. All that kind of stuff. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is the kind of guy that will kick up a fuss, say he's not happy about it because he's been there long enough, but he will still play because of the team. I can't see him.
No, and I think the thing is as well, he'll actually benefit the Packers because he'll get the bit between his teeth and he'll be like, I'm going to go prove you wrong again.
It says here, by next Friday, so the 2nd of July, he can pull the plug on his whole season next year.
It's this week today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But if he does it himself, he can still get his guaranteed 18.3 million by opting out. But if he doesn't opt out and holds out, he then loses his 18.3 million. So it's.
He's almost the kind of person who the money doesn't matter to him, though, does it?
And who's going to afford it?
We'd like to think not.
If he's going to go somewhere else, you see it on like Instagram, and it's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers linked to so-and-so, and it's like they have to give up like 2 first-round picks for 2 years, and then another second-round pick, and potentially a third round. But it's like mental amount of picks.
It makes you laugh, doesn't it? Every
No
time
one's
there's
gonna
like an older quarterback, the Denver Broncos always get mentioned, don't they?
Links, yeah.
Obviously, the whole.
It's because they've not had a decent running quarterback in ages. I can't even think about, apart from John Elway, like
Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater,
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater, fucking hell. Yeah, the Broncos never had it well. Forgive me if I'm wrong, there might be not from John Elway, but there might be some recent one that I've completely forgotten about. But
Peyton Manning.
I feel like, shit.
Forget about
the guy that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
everyone's sat there listening, they're shouting at the fucking speaker, like going, "What? Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning." I'm going, I don't think of any others. Super Bowl winning Peyton Manning. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is taking a leaf out of. I mean, he hasn't, because he's doing it probably the wrong way. But he's just seen what Tom Brady's done. He's like, Tom Brady's got fed up at Patriots, played his way to the end, and went, you know what? I'm bored of this regimented system. I want to go and play somewhere where I enjoy my game. Yeah. And that's what he's gone and done. And he's going to win a Super Bowl. And Aaron's boys sat there going, oh,
I want to be like that guy.
That's a really good idea. I'm bored. I'm fed up of being at Green Bay.
Talking of quarterbacks in his position and older quarterbacks in the Tom Brady scenario, have you seen the TV show that's released over in America last week?
Like the barber shop?
The week before, yeah, the shop
it's
on
not
HBO.
Aaron Rodgers hosting Jeopardy again, is it?
No, it's Tom Brady on the shop. So yeah, in a barber shop.
Yeah.
And he's shot fire. Oh, shot fire. He's fired shots. Shot fired. He's fired shots at someone.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And apparently it's Jimmy G in the 49. You stick with that mother, and then it just cuts away to laughter.
The thing is, with Tom Brady, that's either him just knowing that this is going to be great for the media, they're going to love this, they're going to like eat it up, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if there was teams that were like, yeah, no, we're going to stick with them, and then...
Well, this is what they're saying, is that they think it's like the 49ers.
Because 49ers?
They're saying that you're going to stick with that mother and leave it, which is someone that he was tried to be replaced with at the Pats previously, and then
would
someone
you say
else...
that? I was of the opposite opinion. I thought that he wouldn't... He would be like...
I mean, they've kind of... Online buffs have kind of whittled down every team that was interested, and when they pulled out and what was going on, and the inside of it is that they were apparently it leads back to Jimmy G and the 49ers.
When it says here,
which is when laughing about the fact that
who was Tom Brady referring to as a mother and then
a mother trucker.
I mean, I don't know why I'm not actually saying a word, because I think I've sworn like 4 times on this already.
Speculation is some 49ers quarterback Jimmy G.
I don't know if it is though. Like,
but yeah, I think you're right.
Because
I would not be surprised if it's Derek Carr. Like, come on, like, he's useless.
Decided to stick with Garoppolo.
Tom Brady is very also media trained.
I don't think he'd be saying it about Ryan Tannehill, because he's not fantastic, but he's done well at what he's got. Mitchell Trubisky, I wouldn't be surprised if he says that. Is Mitchell Trubisky gone?
He's back up to Josh Allen.
Josh Allen now, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's left from potentially being QB1 to be a QB2.
Yeah, but at a better place.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so very strange, but media trained Tom Brady's also probably just trying to whip some journos up into a frenzy.
I'd love to see TB in the all black kit of the Raiders, though.
It would be pretty sick.
That was sick.
No, because I don't want to have someone good.
Well, yeah, but
I get what you mean.
I think it was a picture on Instagram. So I don't know who it was that posted it. It may have even been ESPN, and they like photoshopped him in all the kits that potentially were interested at the time.
Yeah.
And the Oakland Raiders were one. It looks not Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, and it looks sick. Him in the all black. That's what I was actually quite mean.
Mm-hmm.
They will always be Oakland.
They'll always be Oakland. They can't.
It just sounds better, doesn't it? Oakland Raiders than the Las Vegas Raiders.
It doesn't sound right calling them the Las Vegas Raiders. I bet the people of Oakland were well miffed. Because they left, they were from Oakland. They left Oakland, went to LA, and then went back from LA to
Oakland.
I don't think they're going to go back now. They spent billions on their stadium / nightclub.
Glorified nightclub. Where are you going tonight? I'm going down the Raiders Stadium. Oh, really? Oh, nice. That's what it's good for, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we've...
big news next.
What's the big... Oh, we'll let you lead this one, shall we?
Julio
Jones.
Julio.
Who?
Julio, the man legend.
I reckon it's going to be a massive disappointment for you.
I feel like same.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's nice for us to have someone to go alongside AJ Brown who's going to smash it and who he can learn from.
And he's learning from who?
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, no. If he stays fit, I think it's good. The difficulty is that it's not the Julio Jones of 3 or 4 years ago, and he's had injury worries. But looking at him in training, when in the mini camp, he's actually one of the only people who's turned up to mini camp, both voluntary and
I feel like I don't know how he's gonna perform. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still gonna. I do think he'll be all right, but you think he's gone from the Falcons where he was pretty much their main weapon, wasn't he? Really. Mm-hmm. To then now
he was fantastic. You think about him winning the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, exactly.
When they should have won it, but the Super Bowl he didn't win.
And then they've gone to a place where, let's be real, they run the ball a lot, which you would do when you've got someone like Derrick Henry as your running back. I think you've got AJ Brown as well, so I feel like he's gone from somewhere where he's the man.
But I think that's
so he's. But maybe I'm still into it wrong. And he'll be like, that's what he wants. But
yeah, I mean,
I feel like players like him with the X factor always want to be that guy, don't they?
That's what I kind of see. It's a good thing though, because you say the injury troubles he's had with the massive weight that was on his back at Atlanta, because there wasn't really much else around him. He's now got multiple options, so he's not going to be as overworked or overused. Rumours of us still trying to get a tight end as well, which will even spearhead it more. But AJ Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, I like it, and we've got
sounds good.
And we've got an offensive line coming back as well. It's actually.
I just don't think there's a reason he's gone, and they're happy to let him go. Well, I don't know. I think it will be good. I think it'll be good for you, especially because everyone just thinks of the Titans. It's like Julio Jones signs. It's like, well, they're still going to pass it off to Derrick Henry anyway. So.
I feel like they still will.
It just gives you an extra weapon, isn't it?
It's now more options, because last year it was Derrick Henry.
Because AJ Brown wasn't even fully fit, was he, last year?
No, he had a torn Achilles or something at some point. So it was like Derrick Henry or an injured AJ Brown, and that was it. There wasn't really any other weapons.
I still kind of get over the fact that we had this conversation like episode 2 or whatever it was, when Reece announced.
Rinsed him.
No. Well, we were rinsed him, and he announced that he was his
favourite
one.
Yeah,
we were absolutely.
Me and
you were sat there going, "What are you on?"
And
then it happens to be the team he follows signs that player. It's almost as if you're inside the
Mystic Meg.
It's like the NFL and Titans listen to our podcast.
Maybe they are. Maybe they listen to
Big our John Rob. He's all over it.
Make our way through this podcast as if.
What I'm saying is leaving us to another AFC South. That's what I'm saying.
That's about it.
To be fair, the AFC South is pretty easy, isn't it? So you'll be right.
That leads us on quite nicely to Mr. Dalton, doesn't it? Into leading the team as QB1.
Yeah, Andy Dalton come out. I mean, like we were discussing off air, like it's not necessarily that much of a shock that they've gone with him as QB1. So I've got Justin Fields. I feel like don't get me wrong. I don't feel like, obviously less of injury, but I don't feel like Andy Dalton will finish the season as QB1. I actually do think Justin Fields will play this year. I think he'll play a few snaps, and then because that's what they did with Tua, wasn't it, last year? Like Fitzmagic was playing. I didn't necessarily even do him too badly, but then they took him out. Tua did quite well, and now obviously he's QB1 there. So I feel like it'll be the same.
I think that's
with Justin
the plan
Fields.
with a lot of teams. That's what they do is even if they unless they're an absolute like unbelievable player, they're not going to put him in the lineup. Yeah, that's a good point. Do you think they're going to go straight at QB1 for game 1 with him? They must do.
I don't even know who else they've got as QBs.
Who?
Jags. I don't know.
He's got to start. Yeah, no.
I think he's being released, isn't
he? Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah.
Well,
they were all in on him.
He's still on contract, though, isn't
it's like Joey B.
The Bengals are always going to start.
Yeah. You think Zachy Wilson's going to start?
Yeah, that's true.
They've got no one else. But I feel like the ones that went first, second, and third, and that will apart from.
So you're saying Justin Fields is buying into it? He's happy with it.
That's what I read. Yeah, apparently
this is the guy that didn't want to get drafted. I was really annoyed how late he got drafted, and now he's.
Can tell. Oh well, I mean,
sounds like he's been knocked down a peg or so, doesn't it? He's
by his facial reaction, just didn't want to. Was disappointed and a bit peeved that he went. Was it 15? He went 15th. He went 10th.
It was below 10, above 10, sorry.
To then go into the Chicago sort of Bears. So I was a bit like, well, I don't think necessarily. Like, he's definitely the one to bring them, to take them forward and to lead them forward. I think if you're a Chicago Bears fan or the organisation, you're absolutely delirious that you got Justin Fields at whatever he went. But we shall see how he gets on, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Be interesting to see how the Bears get on. Really,
He went 11th.
11th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry.
That's not. He wanted to be top 5, didn't he?
Of course he did.
But then.
There's arguments that he probably should have been. You think the comparison with him and Trey Lance is.
Mm-hmm.
It was nip and tuck really, wasn't it? Obviously they went with him. But yeah, we shall see how it all unfolds.
We shall see. Cool.
Kill.
So you can't tell some horrendous cutting. Yeah.
Pause and play.
Pause and play. Cool.
Kill.
That went well. So I can't wait to hear that back. Cool's not spelled C-O-O-L.
It's K-E-W-L.
That's the ticket.
Cool.
Right, yeah, so I'm just going to get on with it now. Stop saying words. It's a bit early. Well, I say early. We're nearly July. We're going to put in our predictions for the divisions. We started off by just thinking about doing just winners, but I've actually put them in order. I think you've done the same, Reece. I'm not sure if you have. But
I'll do it. On pure on first look.
I'm actually going to keep this in the recording, but can I move this fan? Because it keeps blowing off. I'm wondering if it's going to interfere with the...
So you're getting blown by a fan?
I am, technically. No, it's fine. We'll listen back to it, and every now and then, as you hear it rotate around you. Yeah, we're going to... God, we're going all right. Side topic. This is a whole new environment. I'm loving it. Look at the size of that pencil. Anyway, that was a big pencil.
That's unnecessary, isn't it?
It's got a big rubber on the end of it as well. Sorry, a razor.
We do have an American audience.
Yeah, I just realized, a razor. Sorry.
It's a really big
razor.
rubber.
Rubber.
What kind of office are you in? There's a bed downstairs.
Johnny.
So yeah, we're gonna get started. I think just work AFC. I've done it as AFC. Should we do AFC first, NFC, and then
I'll go NFC first.
NFC? 'Cause that's a bit more interesting. Okay, who wants to start it? Do you want me to start it? Or?
You can start if you want.
Oh, okay, cool.
As he goes along, so.
Yeah, he's just gonna go. So should we go north, south, east, and west, just to make it like?
Yeah, I wish I'd written it in that term.
I know. What term have you written it in? I've actually written
I've
east.
gone east, north, south, west.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. That's what I've done.
Same as that.
So we're gonna go like that then. That's solved that issue. Yeah. So NFC East, I have gone Cowboys to win the division, Eagles to come second, New York to come third, and Washington to come last.
G-Man?
I mean, I'm not gonna bet against the boys. So I've gone, Cowboys first. I've gone Eagles. I have gone Eagles second, and I've gone Washington third, New York fourth. I just think Fitzmagic's going to bring a little bit of magic to Washington. I know Giants are getting Saquon back, but I don't know.
He's on double figures for his teams, don't he?
They're so reliant on him. Like we were saying about the Titans, but at least they've got other weapons. I don't necessarily feel. I know they've got Kenny G. They got Kenny G now.
Kenny G, mate.
He's come out of the bin and gone to them.
He's our favourite.
He's gone to the Big Apple. But
There's a party just walked past.
I mean, but yeah.
What was that, a cat or a
I
person?
don't know what it was, but someone sounded like they were getting attacked.
Yeah, we are in an office on a road, so
In main road.
on the main road, but yeah,
Got a pub.
we've got an office now, guys.
Yeah, we're big time now.
We're moving on to big time. It says TMD outside.
TMD recording.
TMD recordings. The big red light goes on when we want it.
We can't be having red lights on windows. It's not.
No, it's true. It's not Amsterdam. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
No, it's fine.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I massively agree with you. I've gone Cowboys first, Eagles second, Washington third, Giants fourth. Don't see the Giants doing anything this year. Going on from the last year's absolute shambles of a division anyway. So that takes us on to then the North, I suppose, in the NFC. I've gone for the Packers to win. I know all the stuff that's going on, but I'm imagining Rodgers is coming back, and I think he'll just prove a point as he did last year with an MVP performance. He's not the kind of person that's going to go in half-hearted, as we said earlier. So I've gone Packers, I've gone Vikings, I've gone Lions, and then I've gone Bears. So sorry, Joel, first of all, but yeah, Packers, Vikings,
You've got Bears at the rear.
Lions, Bears. I think I might change the Bears and Lions, to be fair, but.
So you've gone Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jonesy?
I have gone Packers. Same opinion. I think Aaron Rodgers will still play, and they'll probably still be a good team, regardless of what happens. Bears for second.
Interesting.
Yeah, gone for a bit of a controversial statement there. Yeah, Bears, I think, with what they've got, I think they've got a better chance. They've come close before. Could they do it again?
They made postseason last year, didn't they?
Did, yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
Lions, and then Vikings at the end.
I don't get the hate on the Vikings.
I don't hate the Vikings. I just don't think there's much that's quite exciting about them.
No, he hates it. I just don't get the hate on the Vikings.
No, I don't really get the hate. They're alright.
Take it. Have you gone Vikings last potentially, or?
Same as. Well, I kind of went a little bit different. I think I've actually gone Bears first if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play. I feel like like we say, we think he will, and I'm sure he will. But if he doesn't, for whatever reason, and he is stubborn and opts out and doesn't play, I just can't see. I think Jordan Love's not played a snap. I know they signed another QB or maybe another two, but he's not played a snap. I don't think he's taken one snap at all in the league in the year or two he's been a professional. And I can't see him coming in and lighting up like A-Rod would. So I've gone. Well, I'll go on the basis that Aaron Rodgers has opted out. All right, just to make it a little bit controversial. So I've gone Bears first. I've gone Green Bay second. I've gone Vikings and I've gone Lions. And we all know why. I think we've got.
Why do I go on Lions?
Yeah. We won't touch on it because I touch on it every week.
Fair play.
But them two, as in the Vikings and the Lions, both got garbage QBs now. Kirk Cousins is another one I can't stand. Boring player. But yeah.
I keep feeling with his fan.
Right.
I mean, the South is an interesting one this year.
It is.
It is an interesting one. What have you gone for, George?
I've gone Tampa because I think they've still acquired all of their players that won in the Super Bowl. And I just can't necessarily they'll win it again, but I can't see them not at least finishing top, especially with Drew Brees now retiring from the Saints and them having either Taysom Hill or James Interception Wilson.
Oh, sorry. Can we talk about his training?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
His
see this.
training
You shared
video.
this, and I was meant to watch it, and I never did.
See if I can get it up while George is still talking. Oh my god,
it's embarrassing.
Is it quite?
Yeah, for a
just
geezer
Jameis.
that actually threw, I think wasn't it a record of
30,
interceptions in 1 year. He actually, and the guy that was eating W's for the geezer that didn't play hardly ever last year. I was thinking, why are you mocking? It's like I wouldn't even mock. What's he doing?
What's he doing?
We're watching the video. I hope you've all seen it. If not, go on Twitter.
The thing is, right, he's trying to be funny, but he actually tags that long in the pocket anyway.
It's just,
and he'd be sacked by now.
Surely that's not serious. That's not serious. Like, this is what I'm actually doing.
It must be because he's actually put it out. It's not like he's someone who can mess about.
No, I get the idea, as in you want to try and keep hold of the ball under pressure, but you would have been sacked by now. Let's be real about it.
Yeah, they're not going to be just flapping their hands at the ball. They're going to be able to like take their legs off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've gone Tampa, I've gone Saints, and then I've gone. It was a tough one between the Panthers and the Falcons, but I went Falcons and then Panthers. I'd like Panthers to do bits because I do quite like Sam Darnold, and I feel like it's a bit of a better setup for him there than it was at the Jets. But yeah, I think Matt Ryan, as much as I feel like he's passed a little bit, he's still one of a player. He's got an arm on him. They've got Kyle Pitts now, who's another weapon for him. I know that's Julio Jones, but yeah. So yeah, I've gone Tampa, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers.
Jonesy?
I've got it for exactly the same.
Yeah.
Tampa, Saints, Falcons, Panthers. Same opinion with Tampa. They're going to turn it up. No different to Tom Brady. He's just unbelievable. So and the team he's got around him, his receivers. They've all signed. It's the same team as last year. They've all like restructured their contracts to stay, and yeah, it's going to be. I think they'll do it again. Whether they get Super Bowl, we don't know. That's probably another conversation we've already had anyway. But and then Saints, yeah. I think again top quality. So is Jameis their number one QB?
I still don't know if he is. I feel like it's probably going to be Taysom Hill. Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I feel like Taysom Hill's, like I said, in
QB who doesn't want to play QB.
Yeah, I feel like I said it in a previous podcast.
What position does he want to play? Wide receiver.
Anyway, I think he loves the fact that he's the utility man. He can do anything. But then you put him at QB where he's got a QB contract. He says that he wants to play QB. Well, when he does, but I don't even think he's that good. He's good when you scramble the ball and you're trying to get a couple of yards. He's good for that because he can take a hit. But then I feel like if you're getting paid, and has he not that long ago signed a contract as well with them, like an extension to a QB one
last year.
And I just feel like
if you're like outside bet on a team to actually end up last, they're probably a good one to put on.
They really would, because you think they've got him who can't throw a deep ball to save his life, and doesn't even. I get the impression when I watch him, doesn't really want to play at QB. And you've got James Winston, who, again, even now, had a year under what's his face last year, Drew Brees. I still don't think he's it.
That's why
I think he's garbage. I think honestly he's one of the worst QBs in the league.
That's
I really do.
Put the Saints behind the Falcons. Because I don't. It's this thing. They've got no one to.
The thing is they've still got a class team. Alvin Kamara. They probably run a lot more, and they run a lot, but they run a lot more than they did
I don't
last
know
year.
how much he can run. I know he can do it, but this is going to be the whole season. Because if you're that team, who do you trust at QB?
James Winston.
Don't get me wrong, they're not going to be all like dog shit. Like they are capable and able players. But I just feel like, but that's like anyone though. You move on from such a good player.
You got to take a year or two to.
You
look at the Pats.
Exactly. Look at the Pats.
You've got to take a year or two to kind of shut that out as well. I mean, for me, I went
It'll be
Bucks,
the same with Tampa when Brady either retires or leaves them. It'll be the same.
Falcons, Saints, Panthers. So still agree the Panthers are going to be.
Who's Tampa's backup? They must.
They got Kyle Trask in the draft, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's actually a really good signing draft wise.
Oh yeah.
Because he went from he was a Florida Gator and he was really actually quite decent. He went second round. I think he went second round.
What a man to
quite big.
Someone to learn from as well.
I think I remember saying at the last podcast. I was watching a couple of his highlights and his pro day and stuff, and he's actually quite decent. So it'd be one to watch.
As well,
Yeah, and like you say, you got a potentially a year, maybe longer, of learning from the absolute GOAT. So it can't do that much harm to be under him.
I think this one's going to be quite interesting. The NFC West. You want to check it out first?
I'll go first if you want. Again, I've actually gone Arizona first. I've gone the Cardinals first. The off season they've had, the players that they've signed. Obviously, defensive side of the ball, they've got JJ Watt now. I just have a weirdly sort of good feeling for the Cardinals this year, and obviously the Seahawks still got Russ, and they'll be there or thereabouts. But yeah, something for me. So I've gone Cardinals first, Seahawks second. I've gone Rams third and 49ers last because I feel like with the Rams with having Matt Stafford now, and they've got rid of that guy.
I think
it will be an interesting.
It could be
one.
either way with the Rams and the Niners at the back of the pack.
I think this is going to be how the AFC North was last year, where it's going to be very open. I mean, I've gone Rams first.
Wow.
I've gone for Rams first.
But then sorry to interrupt you. Just think about their defensive side of the ball, and they've got a better QB now. And I just feel like
they've strengthened defence. The D is strong. I've gone for the Cardinals second. Seahawks third. I think I agree with you with terms of Cardinals in the fact that they're last year was kind of almost the first 2 years of Kyler Murray was this inbred him and get him going. And
I think they surrounded him, haven't they?
Yeah, they've taken.
Because who else did they sign? Wide receiver. I want to say they got quite a big name, didn't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, they already had D-Hop. I want to say they had someone else, or was it a tight end they got?
Who? What about
the Cardinals? Or am I making that up in my head?
That's what you're making out.
I might be.
I'm trying to think of it. Yeah.
I feel like they
get a stat man on it.
Yeah.
He's the stat man.
I may have made it up.
You could have done. I mean, it sounded.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that.
I can't quite remember who they brought in.
Yeah, maybe not then.
I think
There's a Cardinals fan listening. He'll know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or don't mean.
What is he saying?
Yeah.
I think they've got a bit about them this year, and the Seahawks, they kind of come apart of it at the end of last year, didn't they? So I don't know if that's going to carry over like a hangover, and then 49ers at the end. I know they were plagued by injuries, which wasn't a good thing, and realistically they would have done it probably better than they did, but
it's tough with the 49ers because they have got like an A+ defense really, haven't they? Like they've got good weapons going forward. Like they've got one of the best tight ends in the game. Jimmy G on his day, we got him to a Super Bowl, so he's not shit. And obviously they potentially have, if Trey Lance comes in for a couple of snaps, we'll see how he gets on. It could be interesting and one to watch, but it's a tough division, that one. It's one to keep an eye on, definitely.
I'm intrigued by yours, Jonesy.
So mine is Cardinals first, Seahawks second, Rams third, and 49ers fourth.
Snap.
Yeah.
Again.
Great minds.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, same opinion. So Cardinals, I think Kyler Murray and that team are just awesome. I think he's a brilliant player, and he could just
they help defensive side of the ball now. So it's gonna be sick.
with JJ being there and.
Do you know what? I'm just looking at the betting odds for what would be Super Bowl, so how strong they are.
Mm-hmm.
The betting odds are Rams first, 49ers second.
Really?
Yeah. So.
It's just a punt of putting that on, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
is. But I'm looking at some of the odds, and I'm questioning everything. Like a lot of these are strange.
Is there anything that's worth putting some money on?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm intrigued by the Titans with 25 to 1. I'm
25 to 1.
Yeah.
Still.
The Cowboys.
28 to 1.
Million to 1.
28 to 1. They're ahead of the Cardinals. Cardinals are 33 to 1.
Well, 33 to 1.
Yeah.
That's a good outsider bet.
It is. The Steelers are 33 to 1.
Still not doing much this year.
And going back to what I was saying, Seahawks second. Russell Wilson is just unbelievable. And
doesn't really change too much of them, really.
No. I think that'd be good. Rams, like you said, better because of Matt Stafford. Mm-hmm. Good team around them. Good coaching. And then 49ers. But that division could be so different. I think it could be anyone really. I do have that hunch for the Cardinals. I really think that.
Yeah, I do.
I'll put an outsider bet on them.
Not to win it, but their year to make a big statement this year, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it's time to go on to the AFC, which... Is that going to be harder or easier? I think
easier.
Easier?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think a couple. Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's go straight into it. I want to start this one. AFC East. I've gone Bills to win the division. Dolphins to come a second, Pats to come third, and Jets to come fourth. You're all nodding as if I think I might have got the same as everyone else. Bingo. Josh Allen and the mighty Bills, they look strong. They look scarily good. I wonder what their odds are. Did you still get their odds up when you closed it?
Yeah, they're third favourites.
Third favourites, yeah. I thought they were. Who's the favourite?
Chiefs.
KC.
Chiefs. And then Tampa. And
Tampa, Bills, Rams, 49ers in the top 5.
49ers are fifth?
Yeah.
To win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Whoever puts money on them is just basically may as well rip the note in half.
Either we know nothing.
Yeah, this is true.
Or...
Yeah, we're missing a trick here somewhere.
Next year when we do the post-Super Bowl episode
when it's Rams versus Rams versus 49ers in the fucking Super Bowl.
I don't know if that'll happen.
I mean...
They're both in the NFC.
Well, yeah.
Technically it wouldn't happen, but yes, I know what you mean.
But it's Bills 49ers all over it.
Yeah, Bills 49ers
or Jets 49ers, goodness. We've all just put them in the end.
Washington versus
my boy Zach
Texans. Come on,
the Texans are the least favourite. They're 200 to 1.
Worth a pound.
Is it?
In for a penny, in for a pound.
I mean, some chips for a pound. Yeah. I'm so hungry right now. I just can't.
All you're talking about is food now.
I know. I don't dinner. But these little bits of chocolate are keeping me going. I'm so digressing here. Yeah. Anyway, so Bills. It's the food, man. Dolphins, Pats. Yeah, I don't think Mac Jones is going to suddenly light the place up, but they're still a top quality side. Don't get me wrong.
Who do you think is going to start for the Pats?
Cam.
It's got to be Cam. Surely.
It'll be Cam. I won't start Mac Jones.
Do the same as Tua had. So, I'm sorry.
I don't think Mac Jones will play this year at all.
Do you not?
No.
Yeah. I think he'll play some snaps.
But I feel like the few things that I've seen, unless it's a blowout and they're battering a team, then he will. But the few clips that I've seen of mini Cam, I think Cam looks like a complete. Don't get me wrong, he's not going to run the show again and be like he was at Panthers. Yeah. But I feel like what I've seen, again, it's only mini Cam, so it's hard to tell because it's not full game scenario. But he looks a different beast like he was last year. I think he's had a year now. He had a shit year. It obviously humbled him and hurt him because he's so used to having good years, and he's had a crap year. The team's, let's be honest, the team around us got a lot better this year. They've signed everyone and anything.
They've got a very easy pre-season, the Pats.
So I feel like, don't get me wrong.
Have they got pre-season?
Washington, Eagles, Giants.
Washington, Eagles, Giants.
So, I mean, it could build his confidence from what's been, smashed last year, but
yeah.
I think you're right though. I think.
They're not going to obviously win the division. That would be the Bills, easy. But
you know what? You could be right. I don't think Mac Jones even starts.
No. Again, unless it's a blowout and they're smashing a team, and then it's a bit like say they're playing the Jets and they're absolutely smashing them out.
Unless he shows
it's a bit
up
like,
in
Mac,
training.
you can play fourth quarter, a couple of snaps.
Yeah,
maybe.
Unless in training he shows something absolutely
or an injury
outstanding. I can't see it.
Like we said earlier, I think it was off air. Apart from the obvious ones, QB wise, I don't think any of the rookies will start. Obviously, apart from Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence,
That's it.
that's probably it really.
Yeah.
Other than that, Justin
Yes,
Fields, Trey Lance, Matt Jones, they don't start for me. They're franchises.
No.
But no, look, going on to me, I agree with what you said. Although I say I don't agree. It's a toss up between for second for the Pates and the Dolphins for me.
Oh, I think the Dolphins are quite in the bag.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just still not sold on Tua. I'm just not sold on him yet.
I think he's a lefty.
I don't know.
It really puts
I don't know
me
if I can
off.
go.
Oh, when
agree
I
with
watch it, I'm like, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he can throw far. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong because I want him to do well. I do because I loved him at Alabama and I thought he was class.
I think the team they've got around them now.
But yeah, they have they've drafted extremely well again. But for me, if I'm gonna actually go and if I was going to put money on that division, I'd go Bills, Pats, Dolphins, Jets. I'd go Pats second, just purely for the fact of, like I just said, Cam's a different beast this year. He's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder because everyone's been talking smack about him, and rightly so. He was shit. But yeah, and off season they have acquired some talent and some players to protect him and help him. So yeah.
No,
I feel like it was a close one, but I don't know, just something about the Pats this year.
I agree with you, Jonesy. Bills, Dolphins second, Pats third. But I also I can see that it's difficult, but I can see that being how the North was last year, where you had three very close teams at the top. I don't think the Jets can do as bad as they have done the last couple of years, but I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the other three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do the Jets QB? I forgot his name.
Zach Wilson. You can't say that in front of George.
Getting evils now.
Yeah, you should see the look.
How dare
If
you
Luke could kill.
forget his name?
Forget Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
I mean,
Do you think if he will, even if they come fourth, do you think he'll still have a good season? Do you think he'll still play well?
Do you know what? I think they'll come off, but I actually think they're going to have a good year. They look.
Don't ask me because I'm just going to be biased. But generally, if I'm taking my bias hat off, I feel like they will. Obviously, like we said, they're not going to come. They're going to come last.
If he came into the team they had last year, and they hadn't strengthened elsewhere rather than bringing him in, I don't think he'll have a good year. But they have strengthened quite a few weapons and given him options to play with.
I feel like he kind of needs to.
Strengthen the
because they've
protection as
gambled
well.
really. Because as much as Sam Dalton has some bad press and people aren't big on him, like he's not a bad QB, is he really, Sam Dalton?
No.
Let's be honest about it. Like obviously a garbage franchise, and they've gambled. Obviously, if they had got the players and acquired who they have for Zach Wilson, don't know, he's not going to light the division up. But I don't know. Obviously, he's a bit more established in the league, so I don't know. So they kind of gambled on him. So I feel like he kind of has to perform, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, he does.
And they spent their second pick on him, so they're obviously big on him. But again, you know what? Everyone knows, all our viewers know my love for Zach Wilson. I can't say anything but a success there in the Big Apple.
Baby face assassin.
That's it.
AFC North. You want to start with that?
Oh, this is the tough one of the AFC for me.
I'll start with that one.
Okay.
You're right. There. I think you're right in it. It's very tough. I've gone.
You know what? This division never used to be that tough. It was just sort of one main one that could almost get there, and the other two were just garbage. And now,
4 strong teams.
It's 4 strong teams.
Yeah.
I've gone Browns to win, which I know sickens you to the core.
Not as much as the Steelers win it, though, is it?
Yeah, I'd rather the Browns win it than the Steelers.
I think. Do you know what? Baker showed class last year. And
finished
I think,
strong as well.
Yeah, he finished strong, and everything was good about them. They are a team that has strengthened.
Yeah, I like Baker a lot.
As much as I hate to say it, I do love Baker.
I think he's going to lead them, and I think he's grown leadership capacities that he didn't really show. Going back last year. I've gone for the Ravens second, so I do think you boys are going to do it, and there will be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that is questionable for me, I think, for them is the inclusion of the 2 new wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
That you've got is
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah. You remember it. I
and
forgot it.
and a rookie.
Yeah.
Something, I can't remember for me.
Yeah.
Eastman, does it?
No.
Edmund.
Edmund,
No.
is it?
So I think it was with E, doesn't it? Am I
No,
wrong?
this is killing me.
I could be kind of
Super
right.
fan over it.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was
But yeah,
It's from Sammy Watkins, who's one of the sort of, I'd say top 10 QB wide receivers, if not top 15. You don't even know.
in the but for me, it questions because we know Lamar's strengths are his, coming out the pocket.
Rashad Bateman.
Bateman.
That was it.
No,
Yeah,
no, had man on the end.
to be fair, he was what a pig he was. But yeah, carry on.
But yeah, I see it going one or two ways. Is that they don't get used enough, and someone will say Watkins' talent should be, or they get overused because they know they've got them and it's something that isn't known about. Whether they overuse them to the point that it doesn't actually work and it becomes a bit too forced, which is kind of my feeling. The other side of it is that it could work, how us running Derrick Henry has, and it's something that's really good for them, and it boosts you up probably past the Browns. So that was my iffy bit of them to second over first. Bengals third. I'm backing Joey B to come back strong.
My guy, Joey B.
I think he's got a point to prove because he showed flashes in his first 8 games or whatever. And then he had the injury, which was horrible to watch and horrible to see because it was one of those ones that you sit there and cringe at. Straight leg and so I part of me I think it's a bit biased. I want him to come back and smash it and do well. Which then just left the Steelers at 4th. It wasn't the case that I don't think they're going to do very well. But another year with Ben, he smashed it for the first 12 games last year, but then slowed down again at the end of the season, and it's whether that carries over for me. So that's my 4. But I don't know.
I think does he still have it? But he does still have it.
Pocket presence is still jokes, isn't it?
His arm is still so strong.
And the bloke's massive.
Well, showed last year.
Yeah.
Don't get him to run, but in the pocket he's better than most players.
They've got a young roster.
They're kind of like they're not really changed either.
Them.
They're kind of like the Tampa Bay. Really, they haven't really lost anyone.
No, they've got a young team who's got a year more experience under their belt.
Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster.
So for me, it's going on the AFC North for me. You're probably going to hate me now, Jonesy.
Oh no.
I've gone Browns first for XYZ, like we've just said. I think all the qualities that Baker's gained and learned to be a leader now. And he had a solid year last year. And obviously got him to, what did they win? 1 or 2 post? Or it was the first time I got to the postseason in a long few years, isn't it?
Postseason,
so and I think they're just gonna gain from that. They'll have OBJ back next year, and stuff. So I've obviously got Jarvis. I can't even say his name. Landry. What's his name? Jarvis Landry. Yeah. So they'll be there. I've actually gone Steelers second. And
my god!
Yeah, no.
Oh god!
Do you know what it is? Right. Like we've just, Jonesy's walking out.
For context, Chris has got head in hand, stood up, walked away. I feel that the fact that these two are sat next to each other is going to be a.
Let me explain. So
I'm intrigued by this.
So the Steelers, like we've just said, then they've not changed, and they went 12-0. Okay, they bottled it at the end. I don't think. Again, I'm not going to say they're going to win the Super Bowl, but. They kept Juju Smith-Schuster. They got Chase Claypool, who was a joke. I think he got the 3rd or 4th round he went, and it was just a disgrace. Or he went late. He was late somewhere. And like you said, Reece, he's got another year experience under his belt now. And so I just feel like they'll be there or thereabouts again. And this is where I come on to the Baltimore Ravens. So. Oh yeah. No, they'll come last. No, I'm joking. I don't know what it is. Like we just touched on. Obviously, they've got Sammy Watkins. They acquired him. They got, what did you say, Rashawn who? Bateman, who obviously is a good. I've not seen too much of him, but what I've heard, and some of the Ravens fans on Twitter seem to be quite big on him. But I just feel like Lamar Jackson's obviously we all know the qualities he's got and what he can do. But I know it's one thing knowing what he's going to do, and another thing stopping him because he's like a wide receiver at QB. But I don't know, I just feel like teams now are just kind of gonna know what he's gonna do. Again, whether they can stop him or not is the other thing. This is the sort of the argument I'm raising. I don't feel like Sammy Watkins and the other receivers will get used as much as everyone thinks. Obviously he can throw. I don't think it's his strong point. Lamar, obviously, I'm not saying he can't throw because he can throw deep. He's shown it himself, but I don't think it's his strongest point. I think if teams can lock him up, I can't stress enough how it sounds easier than it actually is because it's Lamar Jackson. But if they can lock him up, I can't see personally the Ravens doing too much. To be honest, if Lamar Jackson has to sit in the pocket a lot more this year and hit deep balls, it not being his most strongest sort of attribute. I don't know. If they can lock him up, I don't feel like they can. With how strong the Browns and the Steelers are, And if they do, and obviously I'm basing it on what they did last year, because they might be shit and go like 0-16. We don't know, but what I'm basing on what they did last year and stuff. I don't know. I just have a feeling if they can lock Lamar up, most teams, and he has to sit in the pocket a lot more. I don't feel like his pocket presence is as good as his run game. So
I don't disagree with you, to be fair. I think a lot of what you said is pretty spot on. I mean, I am actually quite nervous. I genuinely think it's going to be a really tough season for us. I don't think it's not going to be easy. Like 2 years ago when we had that absolute blistering season, one of the biggest reasons for that was the fact that Big Ben was pretty much out of the game, and no one knew how to deal with Lamar Jackson. It was like this enigma of like, we've never seen a quarterback do this. Like teams didn't quite figure him out and unlock him, and now they've figured him out. And now there's more teams. There's now more teams doing. Kyler Murray is a very similar player who's now starting to do that kind of play. I think almost the Cardinals have turned around to him. His first season he didn't, and like his second season I feel like they kind of went, yeah, hell for it. Let's go for that style of play. And he did so well last year. So no, I'm with you on that. I think with what you put, I know you haven't quite got to the Bengals, but Bengals being last.
Bengals being last. Like you say, want them to do well. They're not going to be terrible. It's just unfortunate the division they're in. Yeah, it is. It's the nature of the beast. Like in another division, they'll potentially be one of, not the strongest, but one of the stronger teams. Obviously, they've got Jamar Chase. Linking up back with Joey B. I feel like that'll be good. That'll be good to watch next year. Like you say, he'll come back with a chip on his shoulder. Not necessarily he's got much to prove, because there's some people are saying he was overhyped going at number one. But yeah, I have no doubts on his ability at all. I feel like he's only gonna learn, and his mental side of things, and just the toughness that he's gonna gain from having such a horrid injury will just improve him so. Will just improve him tenfold.
Have you seen their training? I don't know if you've seen the video of their training camp.
It's been quite intense, isn't it?
It's properly intense, and he's been taking hits, and he just got back up from them. But when he's not taking hits, he's the link-up play between him and Jamar Chase is straight back to what it was. It looks like.
Well, like I said in that previous pod, like if you watch, but that the year where they just absolutely swept the college league and just won everything, he actually linked up and threw to Jamar Chase more than he did Justin Jefferson. And obviously Justin Jefferson's I know he's in his rookie year last year, but he was unfortunate not to win rookie of the year. He's only going to be a class again this year for the Vikings, but he actually linked up to Jamar Chase more. So it was a shoe-in for them obviously to draft him, and I just feel like they can. If it's different in the league because it's bigger, stronger men, and they get paid more, and that's their job to actually do. But I feel like
So what's your take on the division, Joe?
Well, you bring us very good points, and to be fair, I think your order is probably what my brain would say.
Yeah.
But my heart, obviously, I can't not put the Ravens first. I'm going to put the Ravens to win the division. I'd be upset if they didn't, but if I would be upset if we don't get a playoff, but I think we will. I think the main. I've pretty much done the same thing. I've done Ravens, Browns, Steelers, and Bengals. So pretty much exactly the same, but just switched round, obviously, the Ravens from being third. Just bumped them up a little bit. But yeah, no, so again, similar points. You've touched on most of them. I think the Browns, Baker Mayfield was brilliant. The Steelers are still a cracking team. But generally, in all honesty, I'm nervous for it.
Tough
really
division.
could not.
You're saying the whole of the NFL, really, probably maybe apart from, I don't know, maybe the NFC West, the hardest division in the whole NFL, you'd have to say. Definitely one of. If you look at like teams, how good, like how they are now. Like you say, years back it was one, maybe two.
Young quarterbacks who are going to be in the league for probably a long time.
Exactly.
Hopefully, Baker Mayfield. I think he's the one that I would be a bit worried if. I think they will keep him.
Yeah, they'll ride with him.
I think they'll ride with him all. Like they'll get him to a sort of a franchise quarterback. But yeah, you've got three young quarterbacks. You've got one aging one who's still doing it.
I think if Ben retired, then for me they would have potentially come last, depending on who if they drafted or they got in. But the fact that they've, like we said, he's not mobile at all. But we all know Big Ben. That everyone knows Big Ben. So
cool. So yeah, we've spoken a lot about AFC North today. Now, the AFC South. Reece, do you want to start it?
Yeah, you
For
can do.
like, we and George has been talking, so we'll get you to start this one.
I am biased, but also I think.
I mean, you say bias.
I say biased. but also-
Bias, I think you've probably got the
also
best
in
team,
terms of-
really.
Shoe in,
Yeah.
really.
We're number one.
We're
I think
number one.
we're number one. I think we'll reclaim the South. So a big Tennessee Titans dub there. Very much the same as last year. Colts second. They've got a good team. They've got a strong team, and they've not really strengthened. That was the only thing with them is they didn't do a lot during the off season
No.
as such, which potentially a worry. Obviously, of course, a new quarterback, but
That was the only one, really, just getting
Yeah.
Carson Wentz at quarterback. But
yeah, which we've had conversations about prior to and what we think. Jags are put third. Trevor Lawrence is obviously coming, which is buoying them anyway, but they have again made moves in off season.
they draft, but I think the Jags did draft
yeah,
really
they
well. They have
draft
so
really
many
well.
picks. They just
They fucking needed to,
Yeah.
didn't they?
yeah.
They almost did what the Dolphins did a couple of years back, where they took a lot of picks and said, "Well, we're giving our all here,
yeah.
and hopefully it benefits them," because they've been the laughing stock of the
One of,
league
yeah.
for between them and the Jets for a few years, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, I don't want them to have
Coming over to
a
London
brown
every year.
style change, but
Yeah.
a bit better, bit of a challenge, and the Texans last. Plagued
Yeah.
by off-field stuff. They haven't got a quarterback still. Realistically, we don't know what's going on there.
Did you guys see the Instagram video from Deshaun Watson about him like basically being back, and it was like a private workout?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
So
see it.
I saw a very I didn't see the video, but I saw it.
I mean, it wasn't
on
nothing
Twitter.
special. It was just one of those like it was almost like a
A pro day.
I'm still here, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I'm still going to play.
Watch
And it's
him,
like-
right? Watch him play this year and then
Out
win
of
the
his
division.
skin.
Watch him play out of his skin. Watch it.
But my thing is with
Put a
him,
bet on them. What are they? 200 to 1, you said?
200 to 1.
Zing a tenner on that. You're laughing.
but I mean, with him and with them, even if he comes back, they since they lost D Hop 2 years ago now, or it was
This will be second
it
year,
was
yeah,
second
yeah.
year. They've not replaced him.
No.
They've not got anything else.
Randall
We've got
Cobb,
no,
what
they've,
are we talking
got,
about?
they've got no picks.
Yeah, it was
Their draft was horrific.
Their first pick in the draft
Yeah.
was the 4th round.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't it really late? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the 4th round.
I
Was
don't know
the
what
first
you're
pick
talking
in
about.
the
They've
draft.
got Mark Ingram.
They have got Mark Ingram.
They're going to get a pure run game this year.
Yeah, just
Mark, he only did a little bit for the Ravens
We're
now
not-
and then in the last few years, but he ran
Mark-
every play.
Can you play quarterback?
Yeah, we're not playing a quarterback. You're just going to take the snap and run.
They did. Who did the Texans did sign a quarterback in the draft though?
Yeah, he was in the 5th round. Wasn't he?
They did do that, didn't they?
yeah, it was in the 5th round. Yeah, it was.
They
yeah.
did, and
nothing special,
who-
but it was
who-
almost, that was almost like that. We kind of need to get a quarterback just in case.
Yeah.
Who was their the off-season QB they signed? Who used to play for you?
Oh, Griffin.
He
gone there?
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
Tyrod Taylor's been around a bit. He's a few different. He's
Yeah.
becoming a little bit like a Fitzmagic.
Yeah, where's he been? He's been Ravens, Bills, Browns, Chargers, Texans.
Oh, that list is getting bigger. Isn't it?
Super Bowl champion, though, you know.
What year was that?
Rookie season.
yeah, I didn't play.
2013. That was actually when you won. It was 49ers.
Oh my god, I didn't even realise he was in the team.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah,
he's got a Super Bowl ring, so he remembers.
Well, he definitely remembers.
Pro Bowl 2015 for the Bills. But yeah, I mean, I don't see him doing much.
No.
If he does play, yeah, don't even know who they're going to start with, but they don't bring anything for me that is going to be a change. So, the only player they've got who you'd say is someone of class at the minute is probably Ingram. And they've lost TJ Watt from...
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone Titans to win the division, which is, I think.
That's still at 25 to 1 for the Super Bowl as well.
What, for the Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might do a Jonesy bet,
Yeah, I could do.
but I'll cash out if need be.
Yeah, I didn't cash out, but we won't go there. And then I've gone the Jaguars
Oh, really?
as second. Yeah, I think they might be a better side, than the Colts. Again, it's that thing of a top college prospect. It goes in a bit like last year with
Well, as
Joey
they've put him
B.
as the generational talent, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's like, but then at the same time, it's
We said that about Joey B, didn't we?
yeah, he got injured. He
Trevor
played well,
Trevor
but he
Lawrence
still
was the
got
Joey B
absolutely
of this,
hammered, didn't he?
this class.
You get like the. I think I was watching a thing and they were saying how like they go into the NFL and it's like they don't realise how hard you get hit.
100%. Everyone says it.
You get hit
you listen
so
to any
hard.
rookie.
It's like that when you take that first hit. It's like, well, okay, I'm here. So yeah, he could have a mare, but you know what? I think he could be alright. So we've got Jags second, Colts in third, and Texans in fourth. Yeah, it's a swap up. I originally had it down as exactly the same as you. I had Colts and Jags, but then I was like, you know what?
In my head, don't get me wrong, I want the Jags to do better than the Colts because I don't like Carson Wentz. I've said it before.
Jags got a massive following in this country, so I'm sure they'll be glad if they
do something.
If they do something with it. It's pretty good.
To be fair, they've also probably got the supposed easiest fixture run as well.
I haven't looked at their ban actually. Probably something quite.
It's based on position, isn't it, each year? So.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're looking it up.
Yeah, let's have a look at now. See what they've got. So they start at. I'm looking at pre-season. So they start at the Texans, Broncos, Cardinals, Bengals, Titans, Dolphins. Oh no, maybe not Dolphins. Seahawks, Bills, Colts, 49ers, Falcons, Rams.
I mean,
Titans,
like 4 or 5 teams there in a row. That was filth.
Colts, yeah.
Who did you say?
So sorry, right, so let's go from. Well, to be fair, so
easy
from
run,
week,
bro.
yeah, I'll tell you that. So from week 5,
Seahawks,
1, 2, 3.
Rams.
Well, to be fair,
Bills.
from week 3, right? So week 3, Cardinals, Bengals, Titans, Dolphins.
That's hard.
Then they've got a bye.
There you go.
Bye week to
Then
fucking
they've
relax.
got a Seahawks, Bills, Colts, 49ers, Falcons, Rams, Titans.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest running.
Ignore the as you said, and take it back. They're gonna finish 4th.
They've got a really easy run. They really do not have.
They
They've
don't
already
as
marked
well.
the calendar for their bye week, mate. Get me on holiday for a week.
And I mean, their pre-season. To be fair, they're testing pre-season.
Barbados.
They've got Cleveland's, so they've got Browns, Saints, and Cowboys for the pre-season.
My God.
Wow, I mean, talk
Well,
about
Reece,
a
yeah,
baptism
that's,
of fire for
easy.
Trevor Lawrence. Do you know what I assumed of? Bearing in mind what they finished last year, it's going to be an
No
easy.
better time to do it though, eh?
No better
He comes
time.
in and doesn't come unscathed out of really all of them games,
If
and you're
he
like, fair play,
finishes-
Trevor Lawrence, you're doing all right, yeah.
If he finishes second in the division with that running,
Yeah, can I change mine? I want to put this last.
Well, I haven't said mine
I'm
yet.
glad I put them third.
I haven't said mine yet, so
Yeah, I'm glad I put them third. I still think I do better than the Texans, but
yeah.
So where are you putting yours? Jake was 4th.
Yeah. So yeah, again, Titans first. I think if you don't win the division, it's something wrong with your team.
yeah.
Like the team that you obviously, as much as we gave you stick, Julio Jones for you guys. I don't think he's going to be shit. I think he'll be all right. It's another weapon for Tannehill. I've gone Colts second. I think just the link up between Wentz and the new manager. What was the new head coach? What was his name again? They were at the Eagles together. Is it Doug Peterson?
What?
Is it him?
Yeah, Doug Peters was at the.
No, I don't know if it's
but
him.
It's not in there, is
Frank
it?
No,
Wright.
Frank Wright. That's it.
Right, yeah.
So that's when they won the Super Bowl, wasn't it? When he was there, I think. Or am I wrong? I don't know. I don't really know the Eagles much.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but yeah, the new head coach with the relationship that he has, them two have, obviously him and Carson Wentz. Yeah, I just feel like, as much as it pains me, because I don't like Carson Wentz, like you say, Reece. I think the Colts are a fairly established and quite solid franchise. Yeah, I've gone the same as you, Reece. Again, I've gone Jags third. I've actually gone third because I just cannot see the Texans winning. Obviously, I don't think they'll lose every game. I think they'll probably shithouse their way to a couple of wins, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for them, it honestly depends if Deshaun does play or not. Because I think if he plays, regardless of what's
Imagine
gone
if
on
he
off.
walks out on field on first game.
Yeah, I feel like I think
Imagine.
the Texans fans would love it. I don't care. They will buzz
Yeah.
because I feel like if he does come out and play, they are. Obviously, it's kind of stupid. They are such a better team with him in the team. And he'll, as much as all the private stuff that is going on off the field, well, obviously we're not going to get into it, it's probably going to be fuel to his fire. Because if he thinks all that's going on in his head, he's like, no, I'm going to prove to everyone that as much as what's going on, I'm still a shit-top player. So I
And
feel
their
like,
first game is against the Jags as well.
oh, there you go, divisional game. So yeah, I think it's hard. Even if he does play, I feel
At
like,
home.
oh really?
It's in Texas.
Yeah, but
Very interesting.
even if he does play, I think, like we said about the Jags, with obviously Trevor Lawrence and the running back that they signed, that was at Clemson, the couple of weapons they've signed defensively and offensively, yeah, I think they will have too much. So yeah, I've gone them third,
And
Texans third.
Oh, that sneeze finally came. It took 45
Pissed the
minutes.
fans off.
Yeah.
So that was my AFC South.
Which then leads us into the West, which I think is a given for winner. But Jonesy, who you got?
I have Chiefs to win the division, which I think we've probably all got, really.
How's rubbish? What are you saying?
Yeah, I've got the Broncos, mate. Chiefs to win the division. Chargers to come in at second place. Raiders to come third. Broncos to come last. Oof.
I say oof.
I think Chargers. I think they'll be.
I do.
Right.
I agree. I can't agree more.
Oh,
I think if Kansas wasn't in that division, they'd
be smashing it
every year. I say every year. Now they've got Justin Herbert, who I'm so big on. I think he's
good.
Class.
He's good.
He's so good.
A brilliant player. I feel like Dolphins missed out. I mean, don't go too as good, but I feel like they should have gone
100%.
for Justin Herbert. But
Yeah, me and my dad were saying when we were watching that draft that he, obviously apart from Joey B, was the next best prospect in that draft. 100%. And people, what did he go? Third, fourth? I think.
Yeah, he went third. I think fourth.
Third or fourth?
Third.
I can't remember.
I'll say it was third after.
It was high.
It was third after two. I'm pretty sure.
It was.
But yeah, Dolphins. I feel like if I had to pick, I would have picked Justin Herbert over Tua any day.
Yeah, he's just more of a solid player, isn't he? He's
Just looks better.
Yeah.
Take a hit more. It's not as small.
Yeah, I think
Solid.
he's happy to learn. He's not. I don't think he's not cocky. He doesn't come across as a cocky player.
Nope.
He's gone in there completely open-minded. Like, yes, I was a good college player, but like, teach me.
But that's what I'm saying. If you go back to like the interviews, obviously watching that draft, and they do the interviews of like the players and staff and people like that. Everyone said how sort of grounded Justin Herbert was.
Yeah.
Obviously, going high in the draft, he was at Oregon, wasn't he?
Yeah, Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of transferred over to the league. That sometimes you see these players that seem humble. They get to the league and they're big time now. They're big shot. They've made it to they've made their dreams come true. They're in the NFL. Whereas, like you just said, don't see that with Justin Herbert. I feel like he got sort of thrown in the deep end. He was like, all right, you come to the Chargers, cool. You're going to play every game. And I feel like he went in and was like, fuck me. But then I think they finished, 10-10? Is that right? Well, I think it was an even finish they did. So it wasn't necessarily even that bad. But yeah, it can only get better. I think getting hit every week and playing every game last season will put him in good stead for this year.
I think he's going to do really well. And yeah, Raiders, I think they'll be okay. Not very much to say on the Raiders.
Yeah,
I just think they're going to be
a nightclub in their stadium.
Yeah, fantastic nightclub. Broncos. Yeah, to be fair though, that's probably when you guys went. Ooh, when you looked at me, I think that me putting the Broncos last, but I don't know. I can't get excited about the Broncos. I think that's my problem. Like, they're not a team that I look at and go, yeah, I need to watch them.
Yeah.
Nothing about them excites me. So yeah, it's probably a little bit of bias there, but yeah, that's how I've got it. I'm not sure what.
So I've gone Kansas, KC first because I feel like this year for me they'll win the Super Bowl again. The fact that the team they've still got, maybe you could say shock of last year. I guess they were shoo-in favourites again. Maybe I know their TB was in the Super Bowl again and stuff, but I think the defeat last year will humble them a lot. And obviously Pat Mahomes is coming back now. He's going to be fully fit. Them first. Chargers second. I've gone Broncos third, and then Raiders last. Depending on for me, it's the QB situation really at the Broncos. I think because you've still got Drew Lock, who has has potential, but I don't even know if he does. He's not garbage. He's not. But I don't know. I feel like it's always meh with when you watch Drew Lock. You're not bad. Like, just don't be stupid. And then be a smart quarterback, and you would be all right. And Teddy Bridgewater, it depends on what Teddy Bridgewater turns up. I think because sometimes I was watching him for.
He's not a bad player.
No, he's not. That's what I'm saying. Watching him for the Panthers last year, some games I was like, you know what?
Really good.
If he was that consistent, he would be at a solid QB. But then he has games, and you're like, fuck it now.
He's absolute garbage.
He's benched, and they're playing someone else, and I'm like, well, that's. And obviously you can't be perfect all the time. But I think unless
you're Tom Brady.
Well, yeah, unless you're the GOAT.
But yeah.
I think now. But then for wide receivers and their weapons, I'm so big on Jerry Jeudy. I think it's Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
I think him as a wide receiver is so good. I mean, that he went the same year as Joe B. There was great wide receivers in that class, but for me, he was one of the best. I think if you can get him going and link up, either be it Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater, and then one of the enigmas. I think like he can be in the league for years and be top 10 for me. I really do feel like watching this, because I watched quite a lot of wide receiver college highlights when it comes to draft time, and his tapes were just a joke. For me, I'd say out of all of the wide receivers, I'd probably say best. And obviously for rookie year it was all right. He's going into his second year, so yeah, I feel like one to watch for me, him. So, and that's for me the difference between the Raiders and them. I look at the Raiders, I'm a bit like Derek Carr, but still shocked that he's lasted this long with the Raiders. To be honest, I am. Like, he was like, they've gone to this new multi-million-pound stadium, which is, let's be real, one of the, if not the nicest in the league. And then you're like, right, let's get the team on the field. We've still got Derek Carr.
Still got Derek Carr.
We can't get excited. It's still the same shit team in black that play, just in a nice stadium.
I feel like he could end up like
I don't
Jared Goff, because Jared Goff moved to a lovely stadium in the SoFi Stadium, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's been shipped out.
Well, yeah. So. I don't know. But yeah, so that's for me. Obviously, the top two are the top two. It was a toss up between third and fourth, but I think overall, if you look at the rosters, I think Denver have too much firepower for the Raiders. Hence why they were third for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's what I've gone for. I mean, the one thing, the two things that excite me actually about the Raiders, for once I'm going to be positive about them. They're still fourth on my list, don't get me wrong, but their running backs this year, or addition to running backs. So you've got Kenyon Drake joined them, which I think everyone slept on him during free agency. He's good, and backing up the fact that Josh Jacobs was there and he's done well in his first couple of seasons.
I think it's Renfro as well. Was it Renfro?
I think he was at Broncos, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Hunter Renfro is a wide receiver, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's gone there.
Where's he now?
He's just signed for. Vegas.
Last year, I think he was there.
Was he at the Broncos, or am I thinking of another player?
No, he's always been with Oakland. He's signed. He was come out Clemson, wasn't he, 2019? I think.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was a rookie.
I had a face of the franchise with Denver and the Raiders. No, the Denver, and I'm pretty sure I had Hunter Renfro. That's what made me think of it in my head.
Probably because he was in the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the draft and it's mental.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't wrong. I agree with you, George. The Chiefs are, anyone else, but it's stupid. The Chargers, I think, actually got bits about them.
Yeah.
I think, as we said before, echoing what you've said, is that they, as a team, would be pushing leaders if it wasn't for the Chiefs being as good as they are and having who they've got. The Broncos, I think they'll do bits this year. Again, I agree with you with the fact with having Teddy Bridgewater. I know the Panthers didn't do anything of note last year, but there was a lot of games they had where they were one TD away and they were pushing it the last minute of fourth quarter. So if he's coming in, depending if it's him or Drew Lock, but either way, I think they could do bits. And
scrambling yards, scrambling for a couple of a first down or third or fourth down.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater's your guy, really, isn't he? More so than Drew Lock.
They've got flexibility to almost what the Colts did with last year. But yeah, I think the Raiders are going to be.
I'll tell you what,
once more.
I feel like we're an AFC biased podcast here because we've spent probably a good 30 to 40 minutes talking about the AFC, and we've got through the NFC in about 15.
I think the thing with the NFC
be harder.
harder. Yeah.
But I don't know with the NFC. I think it is harder in the sense that there's bits going. There's multiple teams available, but there's not much to talk about them with.
It's less competitive, isn't it? I think we said this before. Yeah.
You've got almost your big 3 or 4 teams, and everyone else is just picking up the pieces.
The AFC is so much more of a competitive conference than the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of your division.
I mean, our division just
right
now.
That division has got about as many big hitters as probably the NFC has got total. I'd put myself on saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at last year, it speaks volumes.
I'm joking.
I mean, that's our division we preview.
Yeah, that's
been good.
It's been good. Side note, despite last 3 minutes, this could last 20 minutes. What are your thoughts on the Madden 2022 cover?
Horrendous.
It's just horrific.
Who is it?
Tom Brady and Mahomes sat on the edge, like on the sat on the post.
What are they trying to do?
Did you see
the GOAT and the future GOAT? Is that what they were going for?
Did you see the teaser for it when it came out? When the day before it was due to drop.
Two goats.
It was
two goats walking out of a barn.
A goat and a kid, like a baby goat, walking out of a barn, and that was it. So everyone was like, well, you know, how are they doing it?
Well, it's going to be Brady then.
I
feel
like they were probably going to go for Aaron Rodgers on the front cover.
That would have been shithouse for its finest, wouldn't it?
That would have been incredible. I feel like that was probably
like a picture of him on that
but when it all went all a bit
yeah, in a suit.
Or just a photo of him at the Kentucky Derby in his like suit with his moustache.
We say there's like all this off-field stuff going on. Have you seen him on socials and like around?
Oh.
He's like living his best life.
He's loving
He's
it.
like Malibu, Hawaii, and he's just like his wife and 2 mates. I was like, that's class.
I think we said it before about him. He's just such a carefree person. Like, he just loves his life. He's happy to do it. His job's his job. Whatever happens there, and he goes on.
And he announced his engagement just like that, as if like, oh yeah, you know, it was on his MVP speech,
he's with an
wasn't
actress,
it?
isn't he?
It was his MVP speech,
so,
and he was like, "Yeah, I got engaged to my girlfriend." And was like,
Oh,
hey,
well done.
did you?
Yeah.
Congrats.
"Oh."
I mean, do you know what? I was almost disappointed with the Madden covers, and the reason being is that in the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, Lamar was the one just gone.
Pat was the one before that as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was. He's ideally been either, you could one or two ways, either been the MVP or the MVP prospect, or it's been someone who has, it's youthful, it's up and coming, and it's a future star or someone that's proven themselves.
I do feel like if the whole issues with A-Rod wasn't happening, I feel like he probably would have been covered, or at least considered. I think
It was MVP. It's almost like they tend to go for MVPs.
I feel like it's probably a little bit of a grey area.
To be fair, I wouldn't mind. You know, if they did like they do these special editions. If they did like a legacy edition or something like that, which they hadn't had TB for, you'd be like, okay, fair play, I get it.
Yeah. You know, I think there's a bit of they sort of.
It'd be nice to have
They bottled it. I think they went the easy route.
Not a QB. They've done it before. Antonio Brown was recent on the front cover. I think it was like Madden 17, I think, or 18.
Was an OBJ one as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Gronk was one as well not that long ago. Doing the old.
I
just feel like another year of no quarterback. Oh, see, I'm suddenly going, oh, bro! And then it's like,
sorry, yeah.
I feel like a non-QB front cover would be nice. Also, I wonder if the game's actually going to be that much.
Or a defensive player.
I feel like the franchise mode. Right, I really got into that last time, and they just need to like it. Once you've done one season, and if you 2, it's just the same.
Well, that's what I liked about this year's one. The face of the franchise one on 21 was that it didn't do that. So whereas usually you do your first rookie season.
So I didn't play 21. I only played 20, and face the franchise, you had one season which was
rookie
like
season,
all good, and then it just went, and then it just basically became. Franchise mode, but as a quarterback,
you get too good, and then if you release if you ask for a trade, no one wants to bid because you're too much money, then you have to retire.
That
happened to me.
He did it on his second.
I was at the Broncos, and I was like, I think I did 2 years. I was like, well, I want to leave now. I was like, my overall was like 99. I was like, I want to leave because I just want to play for a new franchise just to make it more interesting. Because like you just said, and then no one, I don't know if it was could afford me or no one wanted me. So then it was like, oh, we don't want you now. So then they had to retire and had to start a new career.
You've played 21, haven't you?
No.
Have you not?
I didn't buy it. No,
so,
I went.
We were talking about when it.
I didn't know what to get, and I got NBA instead.
Yeah,
I wish I didn't because NBA 2K21 was crap.
Right. So having played 2K21 now, horrendous. But Madden's been really good. So what you do is, rather than having as previous years, you do a year of rookie, which got a storyline to it, and then you're just left on your own to play a career mode almost. You're at your Hall of Fame speech. As it starts off, and then you go through a whole prequel storyline for about 8 years of your career. It takes you to different teams, takes you to different storylines about how you were up and coming against a different quarterback. So for mine, I think it drafted me for the first time to the 49ers. So how it was against Jimmy G got injured, I come in, win the Super Bowl, and then they're like, well, we're bringing back the QB1 as QB1, so you've got the choice, we can either trade you or you can try and fight for your place. And it takes you on a different storyline the whole way through. So this year was actually really good, and you both missed out on it.
We missed out.
Yeah, you missed out on it. It's actually really good, and it takes you through. And
because
you start actually playing in college.
That's what I liked about Madden 20, the fact that when you first start your face to franchise, you pick your own college, don't you? You pick the college you want to play for. Then it's at the AT&T Stadium in it, and they're like the semis and the finals. Like that bit I love.
It's even better on this year because you actually start in high school. So when you start, it's like, what's the name of your high school? What state is it in? What's your mascot? So you build it, and it shows you in your high school thing, and then you choose your college, and you're part of this Heartbreak Kid scenario where you've got you and your best mate who's the wide receiver of the team, and you both get drafted the same place, and then you end up having to choose to change position because you can actually do your face of the franchise as QB, wide receiver, or running back. because you know I'm
Well, that's the thing on 20 that you could if you want to retire or do a new one after the first season, you could change to wide receiver. And I did it just to see what it was like. And I was like, oh, you'll be able to run your own routes, but you literally it's like when you're playing just kick off. So you snap the ball, you control the QB, and then you have obviously you can press like for X, Y, S circle. You throw it to yourself.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
I thought it was going to be like, you literally control your play and you press up to run a route and stuff.
That's exactly what I thought, because I never did watch it. I thought, you might not get thrown to very often, because I thought you would literally it would go like set a height and then you'd run and then you would be like waiting for the parts.
Yeah.
I didn't realise you still.
And this is one you have to make the choice of what you do, and that's because your best mate as wide receiver comes out and says, I want to be QB. And your college coach says, I'm putting him QB1, so you can make the choice of either go for the draft.
Well, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen, would it?
Yeah, you can either go to the draft or you can change position. So, I mean...
I'm an offensive lineman, but I want to be a QB. Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, it's very cool.
Yeah, class.
I mean, you're 200 pounds, can't run.
No, I mean, to be fair, though,
pocket present.
Again, originally he starts at QB, but then he changes to wide receiver because you beat him out.
I think when I played it, I did the same thing as you. I was the Dolphins, and I managed in this like perfect scenario, perfect world, win the Super Bowl in Miami. As the Dolphins, it was like this perfect thing, and then I did like another 2 seasons, and I was like, I want to play someone else. I'm the best quarterback in the league, and I did get somebody, but I got the Vikings.
Oh god!
I got to the Vikings.
Unsaved.
I got to the Vikings. I was like, and I couldn't go back because obviously I couldn't go back to a previous saved back to the Dolphins, and I was like captain as well, and I was like, I'm not gonna play this anymore. I never played it again.
Yeah.
I feel like being on the game as well. I always a gobshite. You know when fucking all the other players, the teams that you play send you like
text, and you start calling them out.
Yeah, it was always the disrespect one. I was never like, oh, you're one of my favourite QBs. It's like, nah, you're dog shit. Like you ain't smack. It's talking smack to like Pat Mahomes or something.
Yeah, you're absolute dog.
Yeah. There's even more honestly. If you can get it and you still got it because I play it on cheap now, get 21 because you get really good. You end up having like. You're against your rival team, someone will start talking, give it to you, and you have like a social media battle. You're in interviews going off against each other.
Tell you one thing I did hate on 20 though. You know when you're at college and then your little wide receiver mate comes up with that girl that's like fighting cancer or whatever. She made a promise. The stress I felt playing the game
to try and make sure.
She was like texting me like, in the final, can you get 4 touchdowns? I'm like, fuck me, like 4 touchdowns in a final. I was like,
I've been told by some girl in the hospital.
Yeah, and I didn't do it in 1 year, right?
How'd you do it? You play on rookie. How'd you not do it?
No, I play on professional, mate. And the disrespect, mate, honestly, I nearly was in tears, mate. She was like, I'm really upset. I was like,
you let me down.
I've mugged her off. I was like, I didn't mean to. I was like, I'm just crap. My quarterback's rubbish. He's like 70. His overall 70. Like, he's up.
Imagine that. So why
I'll restart.
I've got to win it for this girl.
Yeah.
I know she comes
That's what I'm more happy about,
isn't she?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the whole like, what's your favourite colour thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah.
I didn't really mean much.
The stress.
And then you get when you finish the season and then you get Good Morning Football saying
that bit I love.
They were like
Kay Adams and everyone.
Yeah, they're going to be like, the best team. Let's not talk about Kay
Adams. Oh.
I feel like she's not got a boyfriend.
I'll apply.
I
apply for the role.
I don't know. I just feel like.
Oh, fair.
I don't know. I just got this.
Should Google it.
She's got this feeling in my nuts.
They were telling me she's single. Yeah, that was quite cool. But anyway, that was a conversation about Madden. That was. I thought I wasn't sure. So I was like, this could be a 3-minute conversation, or this could take some time.
I really like NBA 2K was horrendous. I know this isn't a basketball one, but that game was absolutely.
Because I love 20.
Awful.
2K20 on NBA was class. NBA 2K20 was really good.
Well, my city and all that was good.
Yeah,
and
mine like the neighbourhood, and then 2020 I was like buzzing. They changed it a bit.
Last 2K I played, played as a.
Didn't enjoy it.
You played as this basketball player that was coming through. It was the first one that did that whole story thing, and it was done by an actual director. Did it like a black director? I can't remember what his name is. Spike Lee.
Yes.
And it was the first. It was the first ever like sports game with a story, and I played that. And what I couldn't understand was why the basketball player was called Frequency Freak. That was it. They called him Freak. So
that annoys me.
And they were like,
in 20 it's Che. Che. And then 21 it's Junior.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But what's up with freak? Like you're some sort of freak. And then they were like,
in the paint,
it's frequency vibrations. I was like, Well, that's just
I'm
stupid.
understanding
what
this game. This is why I prefer NFL.
Yeah, this is, and then like they's like walking around with this hat on that says "freak," and I was like, that just doesn't look good.
Take it off. It won't let me take it off.
What was it? Wasn't it like you had to like fresh squeeze for juice because you were bringing that juice? Was that NBA 2K20?
Cringe, mate.
It was, yeah. I mean, all I say about NFL,
Oh,
about Madden, right? The soundtrack was sick.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack's always
They
on.
have been. They always are.
They've
got
got
sick.
on
This
this
is
year's
the type of music I like, so
they
it's
had
I
Rick
enjoy
Ross.
it every year.
They had a weird, fair enough. They had Rick Ross, and they had Youngblood. They had about
The amount of songs on my playlist now that I've actually downloaded because I had 2K, NBA, and Madden. It's a joke.
This is
Big
my
Numbers
sports
by
playlist.
Search Gemini.
Yeah.
Big Numbers.
Oh yeah,
That was the opening for Madden last year, wasn't it?
That's
Sick.
the intro.
Yeah. You
That's
had
sick.
Lamar
I
on
had that the
a
other
couple
day,
of
'cause I played Madden literally the other day, Madden 20, and then it just
What a song.
it's like big numbers. I was like, oh, I missed this.
Yeah, that gets me buzzing.
That is it. That is buzzing.
I mean, we have got a couple of bits to go from here. To be fair,
Cool, yeah, we've
I don't know how long
Spun
we've got
off
stuck
a
in the
little
video games, but
Yeah.
you know.
To be fair, we've only got two. I think we've only got two questions, haven't we? Is there much
Well,
point?
we've got a question, which is two questions, which is actually quite interesting, I think. And
Okay.
we've got guest SBB as well.
Will they deliver food?
What's that?
Will they deliver food?
Do you want us to pause the pause to
We're
get
nearly
food?
there, mate. We're nearly there,
We're nearly
Jonesy.
there. There's
We're
probably
nearly there.
15-20 minutes left, mate.
It's fine.
I'll start with the question. I'll start with the SPV first. So it's come from friend of the podcast. It's come from Jack Quinn.
Oh, it's come from Jack.
Yes, it has.
Oh, you said Joel Wells again.
I was
Yeah.
like, Joel.
Joel's saying that. No, he's got someone else now.
Jack.
And
Shout out, Jack.
he's gone for running backs.
Ooh-wee.
So we get away from the QBs.
This is why he asked me.
Thank God.
This is why he was like, "Oh, you've recorded," and I was like, "Oh, well, we're supposed to, but that went a bit wrong, so we're recording on Friday." He was like, "Oh, okay," and that was it. And I was
Yeah.
like, "How does he know?" I was like, "Oh, yeah."
So he's gone for running backs.
Does he give us any?
He has given us. He's given us 3. So he's actually given us the SBB. But I've got to do no input to
This
it
is
at all.
fantastic. Cheers, Jack. I'll let him know.
You've literally given. Well, you listen to it. I hope so.
He said, I don't know when. He said he was going to listen to this on his way up on the train to Inverness.
That's a long Jack.
It's a long old
I
trek.
know we
that, isn't
do fairly long
I
podcasts,
don't know
but
what-
that's a trek.
Fuck that.
it? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we need to extend this. We need to extend this podcast for 5
What
hours.
did you go to Scotland for?
I don't know. They want to go to Scotland, don't they? That's pretty. It's a pretty place.
Oh, it's nice for the Scottish people.
It's
Anyway,
a yeah, before we
so
get political.
yeah, it's not
Matt Hancock.
Oh, I've got some memes to show you in a bit. I've been getting them text for the whole thing. I was probably looking at my phone laughing.
I think it's the phones that give the interference as well, like we've had recently. But anyway, don't worry. I couldn't see it.
You couldn't see your granny whilst I was licking Fanny.
Oh
Deary me.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway, we digress. We'll
Let's
get
not
to this
get
running back
political.
question.
Yeah. So, have you got pens and paper to write down?
Yeah.
The 3. So I believe there might be a bit of George bias in there once more.
Come on, I already know that is.
Man's like Zeke.
Yeah, boy. Looks an absolute animal this off-season, by the way. Have you seen his videos?
No.
Fucking scary he looks, mate.
As in physically scary, or like scary when do some bits.
Both.
Is it as impressive as Big Derek's?
Yeah, better.
I don't know. Doubt it.
Too big, Derek.
His workouts have been ridiculous. But he's in there. So you got Zeke, Aaron Jones, and Le'Veon Bell.
Hasn't he left the Chiefs now?
Yeah, he's free agent in a minute.
Didn't he like call out
Yeah.
the coach?
Yeah,
he did,
called
didn't
out,
he?
Andy.
Andy Reid, he did.
Reid, yeah. He dug him out, and Andy Reid come back with something quite polite and nice, and he just went in on him again.
Oh yeah.
So cheerio.
Is it bad that I'm actually trying to figure out who Aaron Jones is?
Packers.
Yeah, the running back.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry, I know who he is now.
The hunger's getting to you, innit?
It is. Hunger.
You're not you when you're
I
hungry.
feel
You need
like
Snickers.
And the Snickers.
I honestly
I
feel
think there's Snickers in
like
the fridge, to be
all
fair.
3 of us,
I've had so much chocolate and sugar. I need some like actual.
all 3 of
carbs
us are
now.
going to pick. Actually, I don't know about you, Reese. Just to be spiteful, but I feel like me and Jonesy have picked the same 2. I've not looked at Jonesy's. I think if you know your running backs, you should pick their.
Okay, so I mean, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Well, I was very confident, and I feel like the fact.
I mean,
the fact-
to be fair,
the fact
I've
you just
talked to Big
I've
Game.
Big Game. Is that the same? I'm like, oh, do we?
Yeah.
I've talked to Big Game. Yeah, we've got the same.
You have to-
We've got the same.
So
Don't change it now. Shithouse.
I don't mind starting. I know I'm not going to have the same as you.
Nah, no.
Oh, I
you
might
won't.
just do it in alphabetical order. So
Oh, good.
So I mean, I've put Aaron Jones to start. My reason being, my reason being is George.
Sorry, mate.
Not last year, year before, right? He tied with Derrick Henry for the most rushing touchdowns. He had a great season last year, and so he's my starter. Zeke's my bench.
every time you say it's Derek Henry, I just thought, you know what, it goes. phase out. That's like that white noise, and then when he starts to come out of talking about Derrick Henry, it's like, oh,
It was the fact that those two were tied together.
Derrick Henry wasn't in the SBB, Reece.
Exactly. For those who were tied together, and he is one of the best at the minute. Zeke is bench, and Le'Veon Bell just a ball end at the minute. So
here's the pun.
Le'Veon Bell end. Yeah, he's in the bin.
Okay, I'll go second. Again, I think we all know who I'm picking as my starter.
Le'Veon Bell, yeah.
To be fair, as anti sort of me, if you're going on Zeke last year, he probably would be bin because he was absolute dog shit.
That's what I'm going on.
But I'm going on what I know Zeke can do, what he looks like this off season. Because obviously everyone knows how much I love Zeke, and I've been watching all of his videos that he posts on socials, and he looks, again, it's not in a game situation and scenario, and it's only like cones and stuff and like bins or whatever they fucking train with. But
bins.
He looks scary. He looks like
avoiding bins.
He's not really taking an off season. He's like
with our logo on it.
So they've got a 3-man yard bin on there. They're like, I don't want to be in the bin. Yeah. Get me away from the bin.
He's not really taking an off like a rest. He probably had and he's just got straight back to it because, let's be honest, he didn't really do much last year, so he didn't really need a rest. But yeah, different animal he looks. I hope he can take it into the season, and I hope obviously us and Jem will have a good year. I've got on bench. I've just hit my ankle. I've got on bench. I've got on Jones. Aaron Jones. Is it Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
It is Aaron Jones. Isn't it?
Purely
Purely for the fact of like I said, the stats are class, and he's just class. And then Le'Veon Bell because he's a bell end.
Le'Veon Bell end.
I've got exactly the same. Zeke is my start, AA1 is my bench, and Le'Veon Bell is my bin.
Yes. Zeke's not in the bin.
Zeke is not in the bin.
He's never going to be in the bin, to be fair.
Thing with Zeke, though,
to be fair, what's his name, Jack?
Oh yeah, Jack Quinn.
Jack Quinn's he's absolutely saved us there, because if he put someone like fucking Derrick Henry or any other decent running back, I'd have been like, oh god, I'm in trouble here. The fact that he picked Le'Veon Bell has absolutely saved us.
Yeah, if he puts Kamara in there, no.
The moment I saw Le'Veon Bell, I was like, perfect, bin.
It makes it easy for me.
It makes it very easy.
And we've got...
Zeke, I mean, he wasn't amazing last year, but I still think he's got the talent. I think he's still. It sounds crazy to say he's almost still like a diamond in the rough when he's been in the league for now 3 or 4 years. Is it 4 years?
I think so. Yeah.
5 years. I don't know. 4 years. I think it's 4 years. And you would have thought by this time he would be better than he is, but it's not that he. You know what I mean. I think he's.
You can't just single him out. Like him personally didn't have a good year, but the whole Cowboys franchise was shit last year. So it's not like he was bad and the rest were good. But it's just, I know we're quite dominant on the run game. Like, it's just the Cowboys' way. Like, we've always had a good QB, and we always like to run the ball.
Yeah.
And I see that's why we give Zeke a big contract, because we're quite big on our running backs. But yeah, first couple of years he was sick, and then he's had a couple of sort of bad years. But I feel like,
changing the subject slightly, I think the Cowboys. Do you think? I don't know. I don't think there's a inherent problem there. They've got a good side and Dak and all that, but do you think there's an inherent problem with the owner?
Like, I had this conversation with my dad, right? As much as it pains me to say, I don't think Dallas Cowboys will win a Super Bowl whilst Jerry Jones is owner. I just don't. Because he's too involved. He's too
controlling.
He's too controlling. He's too involved. He almost runs the team, when you don't need to. Okay, it's your club and you've built it, your franchise. You've built it into what it is today, America's team. Fair play. We love that. We love you, but just leave it alone. It's not just him. It's him. His 2 sons. Like, they're always just there. It's like, let Mike McCarthy do his thing, and let the team do its thing. Why do you have to be like involved all the time? He's always on the field. He's always.
On how much of a micromanager he is. Like, he won't let his staff.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably the same with.
So I think the Crafts for the
Patriots. I can't even remember our old head coach's name.
Oh yeah,
Jason Garrett.
I said Miles Garrett there.
Yeah, Jason. No,
my man.
I just feel like they kind of, before they do something to the team, they have to sort of run it by him. That's the vibe I get. And as much as it pains me to say it because I don't want it to happen, I just feel like all the time he's involved as much as he is, we won't win a Super Bowl.
No, I think, do you know what? It's almost the.
And it's a shame because we've got, and they're not being biased, on paper, probably in the whole NFL, one of maybe not so much defensively, but attackingly, offensive side of the ball, one of the best, top 5 easily, like QB, receivers, tight ends. But it's just all the time they're there. It's just, I feel like this generation of players that we've got will leave, retire, whatever, and we won't win anything.
As a serious question, and this isn't a dig out, this is serious. Where would you put Dak as a rating? Would you say he's top 5? I don't say he's top 5 QB.
Top 10, not top 5.
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10 definitely. Maybe
I'd say
not
top
top
10.
5.
I'd say top 5.
Yeah, there is better QBs out there. I'm not even going to try and defend him.
I know.
Again, not on a bias, but I do feel like he gets slept on quite a bit. I do. For what he does bring. Okay, last year he got injured.
He does.
But I believe, honestly, maybe not as much as he did get, but I feel like he deserved a big match contract. I feel like he did. I think the years that he's done and what he has done, personally for him and numbers and for us, he deserved it. Probably maybe a little bit overpaid. But, yeah. Well, it shows last year, we didn't have it. Okay, we had defensive injuries as well, but you think the big one for us was Dak. You play him last year, we don't finish as bad. We win that division. Don't win the Super Bowl. We win division. We get out of our division top easy.
Yeah.
And that's not a dig at Andy Dalton or the others that played. It's just for me. It showed how not reliant, but how good that he is for us.
I think from what I've seen from an outside, I don't know if you agree with this, is that with Dak, he's the only leader. And,
well, I think all the other
and losing him, it lost that.
Yeah.
You had these people coming in that didn't know it, and
well, your QB is normally is your go-to guy, and it's I'm the franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
That's like most places, and I feel like a lot of the younger guys and the wide receivers love him. Like they love him. Like obviously, I don't know about if you boys do it for the Ravens and the Titans, but like I watch quite a lot on like Cowboys, like Inside Dallas, Inside the Star, I think it's called, and it shows you like team meetings and team briefings. They absolutely love, like everyone does, but the wide receivers and the offensive side of the ball love him. Like they always call him like his big brother. They like CeeDee Lamb coming in his rookie year had a monster year, but like I think there's a certain interview that he has, and he just I think it's for about a good sort of 20 minutes just raves about Dak, absolutely raves about him. And Zeke loves him, and I think like you say, him being injured,
I think it's fantastic.
Him being injured was obvious beyond belief.
Where did Dak get drafted? I thought it was like 5th round or something.
Yeah, 4th round I think.
Fourth round.
Yeah, I think it's one of the later ones.
Yeah, he's one of those ones who was a big. Somehow was drafted so low. I think
Was it because Romo got injured?
Yeah.
He played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
That goes to show one thing though. There's probably so many players out there, especially quarterbacks, that just have never made it, but has had the quality, but just either was scouted wrong.
Well, that's
or
what the hope of the
just
XFL
rotted
was
as a
gonna be,
reserve
wasn't
or
it?
something,
That it was going to show players that missed out that probably shouldn't have. Because you look at, to be fair, you're the best kind of category for it. For Tony Romo, didn't even get drafted.
I actually gutted the XFL ended, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm gutted they didn't like as much as the football's a bit meh. They had some awesome rules, like the way
and
they,
it
the way
did
they're
work.
like.
Well, it's coming back, isn't it? Because of the Rocks.
Yeah, I hope it continues.
It worked because I think what's the Washington? Is it Henneke or whatever his name is? I think he come from the
Heineke.
And I think he went to the Panthers. He wore the number 6 jersey. I can't remember for the life of me what his name was, but he was for the like Seattle Battlehawks.
Yeah, that was
he
it.
was the QB and he got drafted to the Panthers. So it does work. As much as everyone took the piss out of it, because like you say, the rules and the football was a bit shit.
Like 2 games.
Yeah, but it was almost like a tryout, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's like another chance that people that were too good not to play, but teams either didn't want to take a risk or they got released or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I really think something like that. The NFL needs something like that. It needs that kind of like second division. Not like relegation and promotion like we have, but just
do you know because you look at I suppose on our side of the pond, and what we've got is that you've got an academy, we've also got a reserve team where people can prove their worth. I don't always agree that if you're not part of the main roster, almost you can't. I know you can prove yourself in training, but unless you get chucked in for injury,
I kind of like the idea of the XFL being how it is, but a part of me loves the fact that it's away from the NFL and it's not necessarily the NFL own it and it's not like a spin-off of the NFL as such. But I kind of like the idea of like, say... a
feeder team.
Yeah, like the Dallas, I think it's Dallas Renegades, is like the sister club to the Dallas Cowboys. So it's almost like you say, like a B league.
Yeah.
and like, oh, he's actually quite good. We'll draft you in this week. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that'd be quite a good sort of for the players as well as the franchises as a way in for other players. Like for example, obviously like I said about our defensive issues last year, all the injuries. If the Dallas Renegades was like how I just said, and there's a couple of like all right players, and we'll give him a go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that'd be quite. I kind of like that idea, but then a part of me also likes the fact that it's a way and it's nothing to do with the NFL. Do you know what I mean? I kind of like both.
I mean that leads us on to what is the ending of our podcast, I believe. We've got a question which is split into two from Hampson Senior, Mr. Gary.
Go on, Gaza.
Mr. Gary. Very good question, to be fair. All questions split. First part is, who do you think the first quarterback to throw 20 touchdowns will be this year?
That's a good question.
Very good question.
First quarter to throw 20 touchdowns.
Or the first to reach 20 touchdowns this year?
Pat Mahomes.
I think it's the obvious choice, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit of a cop out saying that.
So I'm going to keep the fan club going.
Or TB.
No, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Yeah, I like that.
Josh Allen.
From rifles balls to
Yeah,
play,
yeah.
isn't he?
Laser
Absolute
beams, isn't it?
Rifles and
Yeah,
tanks.
exactly. And that they had a few high scoring games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
a tough one, really, that, isn't it? When you
it
think about
is.
it.
It's all almost luck.
I feel like I kind of don't like my answer. I feel like it's such an easy answer to say.
What's yours?
I said Pat Mahomes.
Oh well, yeah, sorry.
I don't know.
So for me, I would probably say Josh Allen as well. That's where I was leaning for it, because he's that kind of, will rifle it. But to mix things up, I'd put it with Big Ben.
Throws dimes, doesn't he?
Big Ben, he's that traditional quarterback who's probably going to throw it 9 times out of 10, rather than or give it to his back, but he's not going to run it himself.
No, his back's he's usually going to be the QB that his back gets him forward and gets him to the red zone, and then he's going to use that arm to get almost laser and launch it into someone.
Yeah.
Or spin off. Who's going to throw the most interceptions? James Winston.
Poor Jameis. I feel like he gets so much hate.
Here's an outsider for you. Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
The Rams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little outsider.
Like Matt Stafford.
Little outsider. I feel like.
My other one was going to be Justin Herbert, depending on the Chargers do, but yeah, Josh Allen's my player.
Yeah, so
like
should we spin off? Should we do one that we definitely think, and then like a little spin off outsider? So mine will be Pat Mahomes and Matt Stafford at the Rams.
Mine's Josh Allen and Justin Herbert.
Nice.
Big Ben and James Winston.
No, it is interceptions.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We come away from that one.
You've taken. So I want to pick someone different. Outsider. Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Yeah, people sleep on
He's a
that
different.
I could probably, if I could throw it far with someone like D-Hop downfield, triple coverage, he still catches the ball. Yeah. So like you feel like you're in a good stead there.
Yeah. Different kind of player though. Admittedly, he's more like Lamar Jackson, but I think Kyler Murray actually has got a better arm. I think he's got a better arm than Lamar.
Yeah, for a little lad, he can throw, mate.
Launch the D-Hop court on the Hail Mary.
Or my third choice, Joey B.
Or my third choice, Trevor Lawrence.
My fourth choice, Zach Wilson.
Which goes for every QB in the league.
So who's going to do it? The whole.
Yeah, every NFL.
And then to finish it off, his second part of the question was the first running back to 1,000 yards.
Alvin Kamara.
Yes, I'm Alvin Kamara.
I think Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook's a good shout.
At the Vikings. Geezer runs through people.
Alvin Kamara's there.
Yeah, you can't look past that one. He's quick and he's so rapid.
Breaks ankles, mate, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Dalvin Cook. Davin.
Edgar Davids.
Oh, what player?
Edgar. Yeah, no, but I mean that's what we finished on. We've had a successful podcast there.
We have a few little technical issues as we always do, but
and a very hangry Christopher Jones.
I'm not hangry. I'm just sort of like beginning to wilt. I've had.
He's like for spinach.
I've had a prawn mayo sandwich at lunch.
Ugh,
with a bit of
what a
lettuce.
stack of prawns round here.
Yeah, prawn mayo. Yeah, in a
prawn
white
sandwich brigade.
In a little baguette. That wasn't a baguette. It was white bread.
What did you get for M&S?
No, Megan made it.
Homemade.
Oh no.
Prawn sandwiches.
Yeah. I like prawns, but
a packet of crisps, and then I was going to get something on the way down. So I need to get there.
You can't have prawn cocktails.
Cheese and onion.
I would say if you have prawn on prawn.
Double prawn.
Double prawn cocktail.
Double prawn's not the way to go.
Then I had an actual prawn cocktail.
Yeah, my starter.
Yeah.
I should have had a prawn cocktail in a glass. You know where they have it. Like,
Yeah.
Bit of sauce round.
Bit of sauce.
We
Yeah, I don't want to get food before I go. Probably should.
we're very much
But-
digressing.
digressing. Anyway,
Thank you for listening as always.
we've made it, and
We have
tell you what,
again.
that was actually I was a bit
Episode
panicking
7.
at the beginning because I thought we were going to run out of things to talk about, and we're down to 1 hour 45 minutes. It's probably just us
Solid.
rambling, but you know.
Yeah.
That's 'cause
I hope
we-
you enjoyed
I'm
the
liking the new
content.
location though.
I like the new
Yeah, I do.
I'm
Actually.
more than happy to come down here. This is
It
Yeah, so am
works.
I.
It works.
We haven't got to travel
Yeah.
an
We've
hour
not
and a
got
half.
the
whatever
drive
it is,
the way.
up to-
Yeah.
yeah.
like that.
1 hour.
Well, I'm happy to do it. I think it's just I don't know.
Oh, we
I
can
like that.
alternate.
We could alternate from my dingy dining room to this lovely, brightly lit office with
Comfy chairs.
the footballs and the signed shirts and you know the oh wait no but we haven't got that.
Chris Sims
To be
coming
fair,
in.
there's a load of English signed shirts.
door.
There's a load of English signed shirts right over there.
England shirts, right?
No, it's English football signed shirts just down on the floor over there. I think somewhere.
Oh, nice. They like Pompey ones.
Yeah.
Sick.
So we
Anyway,
have got signed jerseys.
we have
Yeah,
got
signed
signed
jerseys,
jerseys.
it's
Perfect.
not up and
Yeah.
Getting framed. Buzzing.
Cool. Well, there's only one way to finish this.
I'll catch y'all in the next one.
That was really
That's
scary.
really scary. But
I'm glad. I hope they enjoy it. I hope they enjoy my little whisper in their ear as the podcast finishes.
yeah, okay. George will. very
I'll
quickly-
catch you in the next one, everyone. If you found the first one that I did a little bit creepy.
I mean, I'm missing the really bad American accent.
Oh, okay. Go on, then.
We'll
Count me in.
go
Okay,
take
okay.
2. 3, 2, 1, action.
So yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.